Government cover-up, mass sacrifice, or a tragic accident. This is the senseless crime story of Enyobeni Tavern, and you are watching Senseless Crime Stories Africa, and I am Tembisa Chawula. On June 27, 2022, the residents of Scenery Park, East London, in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa, woke up to an utterly shocking and tragic scene. 21 youths discovered inside a tavern, strewn all over the dance floor, benches and across tables, not passed out, but dead. Just the night before, they were celebrating the end of their mid-year exams in what has become a culture in the country called pens down, where students engage in heavy drinking and partying to mark the end of a school term. There was also a birthday celebration that night. According to survivors and residents of the area who witnessed the events, 21 young teenagers, 12 girls and 9 boys, the oldest being 17 and the youngest only 13, with others, attended an event at Enyobeni Tavern after other venues had closed for the night. On arrival, they were given free alcohol at the entrance, and inside was a buy one get one free affair. As the night progressed, the venue became packed beyond capacity. Teens from outside tried to force their way into the tavern. There were only 2 bouncers at the door managing the crowd. They soon lost control and allegedly pepper sprayed the bottom area of the tavern. According to a 16-year-old who didn't want to be named, at first, she and others thought they were passed out from alcohol consumption. That's when she and others escaped through a window. Others said they felt dizzy, sat down and closed their eyes. They would never open them again. The tavern is a 2-story building with only one doorway used as an entrance and exit. It stands amid residential properties in a densely populated part of East London. The tavern has allegedly had numerous complaints filed against it in the past by the residents for operating late and noise pollution. The tavern's entertainment manager, Promise Madinese, reiterated the 16-year-old's account of events, saying he saw one teen fall to the ground and pass out. As he poured water over the unfortunate teenager, he noticed others dropping around him. He admitted to the venue selling alcohol to minors, and that instead of closing the doors when it was packed, they began charging 100 Rand a head to get inside, thinking it would deter the youths from entering the venue. It did not. Madinese said they took some of the fallen teenage bodies upstairs since the area was better ventilated. Some survivors spoke to ENCA News about what they experienced that night. A teenage boy said he was sprayed with something he believed to be pepper spray by a female security guard. It made it difficult for him to breathe, he said. It made him feel sleepy, but he fought off the feeling. Another one said people were falling to the ground. There was a stampede where it felt like they were walking on air, but were walking over human bodies. One teenage boy said there had been a Facebook post that said on June 25 there would be free alcohol and food, so they went because they had no money. Upon arrival, you were handed shots, and inside handed ciders that were already open. You bought 1 bottle and got 1 free, he said. Others admitted to sneaking in before the bouncers could see them. There were only young people in the venue, said the teens. Adults were turned away and told the event was for learners, not grown-ups. A local DJ was also there. He was the one celebrating his birthday. On July 6, a symbolic funeral was held at Scenery Park Sports Ground. The venue was filled with 21 empty coffins that were meant to symbolize the fallen teens. This was criticized by some people, calling it a publicity stunt and just another excuse to spend taxpayers' money. Among the guest speakers were President Cyril Ramaphosa, Eastern Cape Premier Oscar Mabuyane, and provincial and local government leaders, as well as South African Minister of Police Bheki Radebe, who after opening with a song, singing 2 whole verses, gave a powerful speech on somebody somewhere must answer and that a war is coming. Cele promised to come back and work alongside the community to solve this tragedy. The speakers made it a point to linger on the topic of underage drinking and parents playing an active role in their children's lives. President Cyril Ramaphosa raised concern about the culture of drinking in the country, South Africa being one of the top heavy drinking countries in the world. He promised those who break the law would be shut down. Forensic teams took blood, stomach contents and clothes from the deceased for testing in Cape Town. Dr. Lita Madiwane of the Eastern Cape Health Department said methanol was found in their systems. The toxicology results have since changed, claiming the 21 teenagers died from suffocation from overcrowding. The parents and residents of Scenery Park have rejected this official report. They believe the provincial government is covering up the real reason. The parents and residents believe a drug or a poisonous substance is the main culprit. Cases of methanol poisoning are familiar in South Africa, a country that often homebrews its liquor. In July, the South African Human Rights Commission, the SAHRC, along with the President and Minister of SAPS, the South African Police Service, offered to assist the families and put the responsible culprits behind bars. Eileen Carter from the SAHRC said they would offer support to the families should they wish to pursue litigation against all relevant and implicated stakeholders. Parents are unhappy with the way the investigation is going so far. They say the health department doesn't want to show them the post-mortem report and are now considering legal action to access it. Parents also blamed the authorities for speaking to the media and not informing them of the latest updates regarding the case. This after authorities notified the media that the toxicology results were out. One parent said she was at work when she heard on a radio station about the results. No one had bothered to contact her. She now feels the authorities' main objective is to please the media and the public more than comfort the parents. Another parent agreed with her, saying Eastern Cape Premier Oscar Mabuyane made a mockery of them at the mass funeral, saying parents mustn't blame neighbors for killing their children, and laughed about it with his entourage. She reminds South Africa how the President and Minister of Police promised to arrest all parties involved. They haven't heard from either since the funeral. They offered to assist with groceries for the funeral, yet no assistance has come. Instead, they campaign and speak on our children, yet are doing nothing to assist. An excuse given by the police was that the parents were not picking up their calls when contacted. It's unlikely that 21 parents who are awaiting news about their children not answer their phones, said a concerned dad. Instead, police accompanied the Enyobeni Tavern owner to collect alcohol from the venue to another drinking place he owns that is still operating. All information has been shared with them as a group thus far, said the parent. But now that the results are out, the health department wants to go to each household to share the results. What are they trying to hide exactly? The parents want to know. Parents also touched on how they are now labeled as neglectful, uncaring parents, with the public asking, how can they sleep at night not knowing where their teenage children are? One mother said they did not raise their children to go out drinking and partying. Children lie, and there is only so much a parent can do, thanks to the children's rights in Section 28 of the Bill of Rights in the Constitution. Most children tend to exploit these rights, walking all over parents and teachers who find themselves helpless in disciplining their children. The 52-year-old manager of Enyobeni Tavern was arrested along with two of his employees after the Eastern Cape Liquor Board opened a criminal case for breaking the Liquor Law Act, for allowing the youths into their establishment and serving them alcohol. The two employees were each fined 2,000 rand. The Liquor Board has since opened charges against Sihle Mavuso's wife, 43-year-old Vuyokazi Ndevu, who is the rightful owner of the tavern. Mrs. Ndevu apologized and said she wasn't at the tavern at the time of the incident. The couple has since been released and the case postponed for October 5, 2022. Meanwhile, parents are still crying about foul play, saying the Ndebus did not look remorseful when they appeared at the East London Magistrates Court, with Siakagela Ndevu being all smiles. As much as the president promised to shut down anyone who breaks the law, it is alleged that Mr. Ndevu is still trading at another venue, even walking around smugly in the location, telling people he is untouchable. True Mzansi style. Yeah, ne? That's all for today, as the case is still pending, with parents looking at seeking legal advice and the Ndebus yet to appear in court. We'll follow up on this senseless tragedy that took so many young lives. Until next time, please like, subscribe and hit the bell. I am Narissa Subramoney.